The White Snoop and T-Rose Show, starring the White Snoop and T-Rose.
Tweet us during the show using the hashtag #SnoopRose Show.
The White Snoop and T-Rose Show.
And welcome back, everybody. This is the White Snoop and T-Rose Show. Of course, I'm the White Snoop. This is T-Rose over here. I know it hasn't been that long since our last show. We wrapped up the regular season. Not, of course, too much has changed in the NBA landscape, but, of course, the playoffs start on Saturday. This taping is on Thursday. Hopefully this will be up on Friday at the latest, so you guys get a chance to watch it before the playoffs start. So we're going to go through each of the matchups, talk about, how we feel about each one and who we think is going to come out on top. And, of course, we'll start in the Eastern Conference. The number 1 seed, Indiana Pacers, are going to be hosting the number 8 seed, Atlanta Hawks. First, I do want to touch on, remember we were talking about the Hawks and Knicks. Remember, we were both part of us wanted to, let the Knicks get in, but, of course, they fell a little short. They're 1 game behind the Hawks. It's got to be disappointing. This is actually the first time Melo hasn't made it to the postseason in his NBA career. No comment?
No comment.
All right, so we'll move on to the matchup between the Hawks and Pacers. The Pacers won that matchup, I believe, 2-1 in the regular series.
Obviously, I'm sure things were a little different in Indiana, though, when that was going on.
Well, the funny thing is the 2 victories happened, at the beginning of the year, when Indiana's playing well. And
didn't Atlanta blow them out?
Yeah, that was the most recent. And, of course, that's been during the Indiana struggles. Of course, Atlanta, even though they did blow them out, you have to remember, comparing the Atlanta roster today back in November, they lost Al Horford. They've had a couple different, things go on. Al Horford, of course, is their big blow. So, I mean, I understand that, the Pacers have been struggling. I mean,
can we just say who and what number?
I'm just saying, I know they're struggling, but I think they're going to pull it out.
Yeah, I'm going to say Indiana in 6.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think Atlanta,
6 games.
I think all the games should be close. I think
Indiana's going to take everyone at home. They're going to end up winning on the road, I think, in Game 6. I think Atlanta might make it interesting in, Games 3 and 4.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see them being close, especially if Indiana continues to struggle, then, of course, Atlanta's going to capitalize. Hopefully they don't play the Celtics defense where they leave Kyle Korver open in the corner, because that doesn't work out very well. And ask Brad Stevens if you don't believe me.
So I would say Indiana in 6.
Not really much else to say.
No. Well, hopefully Roy Hibbert shows up for the playoffs.
Yeah. And one last get well soon to Al Horford. This team could have been better. If he was able to stay healthy.
Well, you can argue if Horford was playing in current circumstances,
they could have been the 3rd or 4th seed easily.
Yeah.
I mean, so hopefully he's back for next season.
Yeah.
So moving on, of course, the defending 2-time NBA world champs. We got the Miami Heat holding on to the 2nd seed, and they're going to now match up with the surprise Charlotte Bobcats. Of course, the Bobcats, I don't think anybody in the world, except for maybe Michael Jordan and Bobcats fans, all 12 of them, have thought that they were going to make the playoffs this year.
No. Remember the first show, I said they won't be the worst team. I didn't say they'd make the playoffs.
No. We agreed on that, though. We thought that they just weren't going to be the worst.
Yeah.
We thought they were going to be, top 10 pick, but
so they
not quite.
So they made a lot of people look foolish.
Yeah, including us, unfortunately.
Well,
hey, I can admit I'm wrong sometimes.
It happens.
Not most of the time I'm right, but every now and then we're all wrong.
Yeah.
So the Bobcats. I mean, Steve Clifford has done a phenomenal job with this team. I mean, in an overall sense. Of course, in the last show, we talked about the individual improvements. Al Horford, I think, kind of just showed everybody what he was. I don't think he really improved.
Al Jefferson.
What did I say?
Horford.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not talking about the Hawks anymore.
No, I'm still thinking about it. It breaks my heart that he had to miss it with a pectoral. But yeah, Al Jefferson. I don't think he so much has improved as where I think he showed people how good he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, no, I don't think he ever got credit for how good he was. I mean,
well, I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's necessarily better than he was in Utah. I just think people are noticing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as some of the other guys, of course, there's improvement. Kemba, wasn't a huge improvement. He was already really good last year. And then you got MKG improved. Well, Zeller, of course, didn't improve because he's a rookie, but I mean, he played well. I mean, overall, the team played well. Of course, I can't help myself. Ben Gordon will not be playing with them in the playoffs this year.
Poor Ben Gordon.
But yeah, then of course, I mean, the Heat's the Heat. Hopefully, can you? Because this was talked about during the regular season. I've been holding this, and I really want to ask this because I think it's funny. Can you see Dwayne Wade sitting out a game in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I can. I mean,
I don't think they're going to ever have him in a suit. I can picture them dressing him
and not playing,
and then not playing him.
Yeah, or maybe he'll.
Or like,
I don't know if we'll DMP, but I can see a scenario where maybe
like
he starts.
Minutes.
Yeah,
maybe he starts.
Yeah.
Maybe by halftime they're up at 10. And they're just like relaxed.
Yeah.
LeBron and Bosh got this.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, his backup is Ray Allen.
He's all right.
I mean, I know Ray Allen's 37. Maybe he's not that elite of a defender, but he's not. He's not bad.
Well, hopefully, Michael Beasley will remember how to play basketball again because you remember how excited I was about that when they did it, and it just hasn't worked out. But I mean, I'm gonna say Miami in 5. I think Charlotte will win one game.
I think they'll definitely win a game. I have to agree with you on that. They'll win one.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Charlotte, too. It's going to be kind of like the same thing like I said in Indiana. Miami's going to win in Miami.
Yeah.
But I think they can steal one in Charlotte. Hopefully the fans are out, in full force. They can back up their guys. I think Al Jefferson's going to probably give them some troubles. He's not going to be like a Roy Hibbert problem, but I can see him, at least... See, because Al Jefferson's not like... doesn't have the size of Roy Hibbert. So Bosh is going to be able to guard him a little better.
He's much better offensively.
Who?
Jefferson than Hibbert.
Yeah.
That's so yeah.
He's gonna make Bosh work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Kemba's gonna give him problems too.
Yeah, I mean Chalmers
isn't bad.
Chalmers isn't bad. He'll be able to, he'll slow. I mean, he'll do what he.
I'm just saying he's gonna give him problems.
Yeah, no, that's
it's kind of like Chris Bosh is a great defender.
Yeah.
But Al Jefferson is just not an easy guy to defend.
Yeah.
And I think Kemba's kind of the same situation. And of course, the Heat offense is kind of.
Yeah.
You don't love it. I mean, it's not terrible. But you can't love their offense. And the Charlotte defense has been pretty nice this year. So I think it's going to be 5 good games. And I think Charlotte can steal one. I wouldn't really be surprised if they stole 2, but I think it's going to be in 5. I have to agree with you on that. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, that's it. Sums that one up.
And so moving on, of course, the 3-6 matchup. We have the Toronto Raptors hosting the Brooklyn Nets. Little division. Actually, well, yeah, the Heat and Bobcats too. Little division rivalries going on. Of course, they split the season series. The first game, Brooklyn took. The next 2 were in January when Brooklyn started getting hot. Remember, the Raptors were the only team to beat them. And then, of course, the Nets won, their final matchup, splitting the season series. They also split the home and away. Who do you have?
Ooh, I've been thinking about this all day.
It's such an interesting matchup.
When I knew that we were filming this, I've been thinking, like, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about this. But...
I've been thinking about it since it clinched last night.
Well, yeah. I'm going to go Brooklyn in 6. I think just because... I think it's... It's like an experience factor.
Yeah.
You got Paul Pierce. He's still one of the better closers out there.
He's a Finals MVP.
Well, that too. Hopefully, Darren Williams can, get his stuff going.
Hopefully, Joe Jesus shows up.
Yeah. Well,
at least for the Nets.
Well, show up in some games.
Sean Livingston has been nice.
Yeah.
Plumlee's been really good for them.
Plumlee's been good, and Karolinko, when he's out there,
Karolinko's probably one of the more. He's like their guy that he's like I know he's not as good as, but almost kind of like what Andre Iguodala does. He almost does things that don't show up in the stat sheet. I think Karolinko's kind of the same way. He does the dirty work. He's always. I mean, I remember, I forgot what I was watching. They were showing a whole bunch of Karolinko highlights where some of the things what he did turned into somebody else getting the steal.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get the credit for the great defense, or he's just he's interrupting things. He causes a lot of problems for the other team. And KG since Brook Lopez has been out has been pretty good. I mean, I know he sat out a couple of games and stuff. He got hurt.
He's getting that wheel, the well of youth.
He's got a little left. Yeah. I think. And of course, the experience. Of course, KG and Pierce they have that ring. And Karolinko's been around. Darren Williams isn't young anymore. Joe Johnson has been in the playoffs. How many times? They definitely have the experience edge. There's not even. It's so far away because Toronto has almost no playoff experience on that team. They have a lot of young guys, which I think is going to be their advantage. I mean, they're a lot younger, more athletic. My head's telling me. Now both, I think it's going to go 7 games. I think it's going to be a good series. I think they're going to go neck and neck. So I think it's going to be Toronto's youth versus Brooklyn's experience. My head's saying Brooklyn, my heart's saying Toronto.
Understandable.
You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
So I'm rooting for the Raptors. Unfortunately, I think the Nets. I think their experience is going to steal it.
So Brooklyn in 7.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think they can win on the road.
So are we going to a game or what? Are we going to go?
I already told you. Friday, next Friday.
Well,
it's game 3.
You look up how much. You look up. We get ticket prices yet or what?
Well, I got to find out if I'm working.
All right. Well, better get on that.
Unfortunately, this isn't our real job.
Better get on that. I was gonna say we'll do a show from.
Find out tonight.
We'll do a show from the game.
Yeah. So moving on to the final matchup in the East, we have our classic 4-5 matchup. Number 4 will be the Chicago Bulls hosting the 5th-seeded Washington Wizards. Of course, we've talked about the Wizards a couple times this year. Of course, your boy John Wall, having his breakout year.
This is another tough one.
This has been John Wall's best beginning to end season in the NBA, no question. I mean, last year at the end of the year, remember he had that really awesome stretch, but it continued into this year. I mean, Bradley Beal's been nice for them. I like Marcin Gortat. Then the Bulls are interesting. It's like they almost have we'll call it the Popovich factor. No matter who plays, you kind of know what you're going to get. They're all going to play hard. They're all going to play physical. Nobody's ever going to stop. They don't care if they're up by 30, down by 30, or a close game. I mean, they're going balls to the wall. And of course, it all starts with the coach. I mean, Coach Thibodeau has these guys, all buying in. The player on the floor that's leading the charge is easily Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah's been awesome. He's been good all year, and he was good last year. But ever since they traded Luol Deng, and it was clear that Joakim Noah was the guy. He had to run the offense because, no offense to DJ Augustine, but he's not an elite point guard. Derrick Rose is out. Luol Deng is now gone. Carlos Boozer is no go-to guy on the offensive end. Joakim Noah has really stepped up and kind of got those guys going, and they're going to play defense. This is going to be an awesome series to watch, I think, and it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to the same thing. I think Chicago has a little bit of an experience edge. I know it's not quite the dinosaurs in Brooklyn experience edge, but I think that they're battle tested enough that I think they're going to squeak this one out. I want to say 6 games, maybe 7. I don't think it's going to be easy.
I don't think so either.
Although,
I'm going to say...
Side note, I do want to say the Wizards did win the regular season series 2-1.
Yeah. Oh, that's
that
true.
doesn't really translate.
Yeah.
I'm just...
My only concern if you're Chicago, and I was thinking about this last night, and sure enough, P.J. Carlosimo was on the radio this morning talking about it. Mm-hmm. If you're Chicago, it's got to be low scoring, because it's gonna be a tough matchup for them because the Wizards do a lot of things well. They have Bradley Beal can shoot. he spreads the floor real well. At some point over like the last couple of years, Trevor Ariza learned how to shoot. He's even a 3-point threat.
Yeah.
So they spread the board. They spread the floor real well, and you gotta keep John Wall out of the open floor. Obviously, he's probably if he's not the fastest, he's probably one of the fastest guys in the league from point A to point B. Is Nene healthy?
Depends.
It depends. Yeah, that's the other thing.
I mean, he's healthy while we're filming, but he'll probably be hurt by the time he's there.
Because if he was, well, no, because
I know.
Because if he
him
was,
and Gortat actually played really well underneath the basket together.
Yeah, well, that's so. This is a tough one for me. Like if you had asked me like when I first got here, I would have said the Wizards in 6, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm like I've been going back and forth. I'm gonna go Chicago in 6. And and my deciding factor in my pick was Coach Tibbs. Probably.
It's a good deciding factor.
Top 3 coach in the NBA, I think.
Yeah, I remember I really liked the hiring when they first hired him, and I'm so happy for him that it's all working.
You remember the year that the Celtics won. They were talking about him,
everybody praised him.
but they were talking about him coaching somewhere before he was.
Yeah,
like it was no secret.
Well, everybody was talking about it because of the praise that he was getting in Boston.
So I think that, so he was Thibodeau was my deciding factor. But
I'm really happy for him.
But I tell you what, right now, if they don't keep John Wall on the open floor and they don't cover those shooters, it's gonna be a long series for Chicago. Because unfortunately,
because
as good as Joakim Noah is, and I love Joakim, that's my boy. He can't defend John Wall, and he can't guard the perimeter.
No.
So their team defense, which is Thibodeau's thing, he's going to have them on point. And
Joakim Noah's job isn't going to be the actual defender on John Wall, but be the backup.
But he's going to have. But the thing is, and Carlos Mo said it this morning, even in a half-court game, they're dangerous because they have got they spread the floor really well.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to guard that 3-point line.
None of these series are going to be easy. No. I don't think.
So that's what I so. Chicago in 6, and and Thibodeau was my deciding factor.
All right, so I think we both pretty much agree the West or the East, I mean, is going to come on to we're going to see Indiana, Chicago, which would be an interesting matchup, and then Miami and Brooklyn, another interesting matchup. So I guess we'll see how it all shakes up. Of course, after the first round is over, we'll be back here discussing the second round, possibly those matchups. But for now, we should move on to the Western Conference. I just want to say something funny that I was thinking about yesterday. Because the Western Conference, I don't know if you know this, they have 7 of their 8 playoff teams are 50-win teams. And in the East, 7 of their 8 playoff teams are just above 500.
Yeah, they.
Only 2 are over 50. The 3rd seed is Toronto at 48 wins. So they're close, but not quite there. Maybe if they traded Rudy Gay faster, they could have joined the club. But yeah, so of course, San Antonio, clinched the conference, and they're gonna, the number 1 seed, so they're gonna face the 8th-seeded Dallas Mavericks, who they swept in the regular season.
I'm going to say Spurs in 6, only because I think Dirk is that good.
Dirk is nasty.
He'll steal 2 games. 1 in Dallas, 1 in San Antonio. And there's really, there's really not a lot to say about this series.
No.
I mean, Monte Ellis is there too.
I was actually going to say Monte Ellis. I have to give him a final shout out for the season. I hope he keeps doing this, but he's been really good this year.
Yeah. He's there too, but the deciding factor of them winning and losing obviously is going to be Dirk, and I think he's that good. Hopefully he'll steal a game. Well, they'll win a game in Dallas. And
they got enough talent around him to steal games.
Yeah. Well, he'll win one in Dallas, and then he'll steal one in San Antonio. He just goes out of his mind. And yeah, so that's my.
Yeah, I pretty much have to agree with you. I know that they didn't beat him in the regular season, but the playoffs are a different animal. And yeah, Dirk's unbelievable. Like I said, they have enough talent around them to win a game. Win a game or 2. Shawn Marion, Vince Carter, Monte Ellis, Calderon. I have to agree with you. San Antonio is 6.
All right, so
they're amazing that they keep doing this. But then again, it is Coach Pop. Coach Pop, and you got Duncan and Parker. Hopefully they stay healthy, because they could be really fun and dangerous in this playoffs. So moving on, of course, the OKC Thunder. They're at the number 2 seed, and so they're going to be facing the number 7 seed, the Memphis Grizzlies, who won that in the final game of the season. No, the funny thing is, just saying 50 wins. The Grizzlies have 50 wins. They beat the Mavericks to get the 7th seed, who only have 49 wins. I mean, that's how tight. I mean, the Suns, who aren't even in it, I think they have 47 or 48 wins they ended with. I forget without looking. I mean, so, but yeah, so moving on. So OKC and Memphis.
All right, what do you have in this one? You can go first this time.
Well,
this is a tough one for me too.
I'm going to believe that Russell Westbrook's going to stay healthy.
Okay.
He's been doing good. Because if he gets hurt, it's over.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I'm not saying that the OKC can't win. I just don't think they would. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Kevin Durant could carry them past the Grizzlies. I just wouldn't count on it. But saying that Westbrook, is back and he's healthy, because I've just, been uncertain because he's been, in and out so much. I think the OKC take this. I can actually see the Grizzlies pushing 7 games, though. I think it's going to be in 6, though. I'm going to say OKC in 6.
Well, I was going to say OKC in 7. And this series, this is an intriguing series to me. This is probably one of the ones I'm going to be looking forward to watching the most, because you have like the opposite dynamic on both ends. You have the Thunder, all perimeter, and then you have the Grizzlies who they're all you got Gasol and Randolph down low just pounding it. And
Mike Miller's actually been pretty decent with that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you have him on the perimeter.
Mike Conley, probably the most underrated point guard in the NBA.
Yeah, Mike Conley, who's gonna give will give Westbrook fits.
Yeah.
And
people don't give Mike Conley enough credit, I don't think.
No, never. And Serge Ibaka's gonna earn his money this series because he's gonna have to. No, he's gonna have to defend Zebo down low.
We'll see how good Perkins and Steve Adams do.
Yeah, that too. Perkins.
I said and Steve Adams.
Yeah, well, those two and Gasol. The thing is, you have Tony Allen defensively, so he's probably going to be guarding Westbrook. And, and Tayshaun Prince might be 96 years old, but he can still play pretty decent. I mean, I'm not saying, obviously, you're not going to stop Durant, but, he's got,
If you can keep Durant like 25, 30, I feel like that's a good night.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Tayshaun Prince, he's got those long arms, old cagey veteran, he's going to, He's going to make Durant. He's going to make him work for it. That's why I think it's going to go 7 games.
I can see that.
That's
I can totally see it. I'm sticking with my OKC in 6, but I can totally see it as Game 7, which would be awesome to watch. Especially since Game 6 is going to be in Memphis. That's the only reason why I almost went 7. Because Memphis is not an easy place to win.
No.
But I'm going to stick with 6 with the willingness to be wrong on this one.
Sorry.
So moving on, we have the 3-6. We have the Los Angeles Clippers at the 3rd seed versus, of course, the Golden State Warriors down the 6th seed. The Warriors, of course, they probably would have been higher if they didn't have little issues. I mean, they were having, the injury problems. Iguodala was out for a stretch. David Lee and Bogut had their problems. David Lee's hurt. He's still playing. Now they have Bogut, who's out injured.
Actually, he's done. All done. That's what I've heard.
Well, that's what I'm hearing too. Because they're saying that he has a rib. I guess it's the 5th. They said, and they said one wrong move and it punctures the lung.
This guy.
I mean, that's not.
Weren't we talking about him last show? No, but yeah, we were. Bogut, we were talking about him.
We talked about him a couple times about his injury.
Yeah. No,
we specifically did talk in the last show.
Yeah, last year we talked about him and Lee, so maybe we shouldn't talk about them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Clippers in 6 games here. And I think Golden State will win 2 games just because of the fact that I think Clay and Stephen will get hot enough for them to win 2 games. Because, that's pretty much, if David Lee can't play, who's playing the 4? Jermaine O'Neal?
Well, no, Jermaine will play the 5.
Oh, so who's playing the 4?
David Lee.
Oh, well.
He's hurt, but he's still playing.
Okay. Okay.
But then they still have Draymond Green, too.
Yeah, but how many minutes does Draymond Green play tonight? That's about, yeah, so they're in trouble.
I mean, he's been good for this year.
On the sidelines in his suit?
No, he's playing.
But to me...
I mean, playing 35 minutes in the playoffs might drain out of it.
So, that's my...
I agree with you, though.
And
the Clippers, we're making jokes about the Warriors, but let's not forget, the Clippers are good. You know, Doc Rivers has definitely got that team playing better this year than they did last year. Blake Griffin has shown improvement throughout the season. I think Blake Griffin was not only better in November than he was last season, but he was better in April than he was in November. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, he's
definitely improved.
He's coming along.
I think Blake Griffin every month has gotten better. Even if his stats necessarily aren't that different, the way he plays has improved. Of course, Chris Paul, best point guard of the game. I don't think there's much else to say about him. And then, of course, just the team overall. You know, Hiro Turkoglu, I know we make fun of him a lot, but, you know, he's only playing 10 minutes a game, but he's helping. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
We'll probably see more Danny Granger for the Clippers.
Yeah, this time Danny Granger, what they have. I mean, J.J. Redick, I think, didn't he come back?
I think
I forgot to look into that.
I don't think he came back, but he's
supposed to come back.
He was on one of the radio shows too, saying that everything was coming right along, and
hopefully Jared
the whole thing. No, don't get me started.
I'm just saying.
That must be
Matt Barnes has been impressive for them off the bench as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they have enough pieces that the Clippers just sit.
Guard the three-point line,
and they're gonna get hot. They're gonna get hot to where they're making 30-foot jumpers like they always do.
Just make them difficult. That's all you can do.
And of course, the final series, the Classic 4-5, we have the Houston Rockets at the 4th seed.
This is a tough one.
Hosting the 5th seed Portland Trail Blazers. Yeah. This is definitely a tough one.
This is a tough one for me.
Because it's like, you have, one side. See, I think the biggest problem on both sides is that they have so many guys in their bench that you really like. I think depth is a problem on both sides. But you really like the starting lineups. I think I like Portland's a little better, actually. You know.
Yeah,
they got Robin Lopez and Angus at defense. Of course, LA is their man. You know, as far as big man. Batum has been nice. Wes Matthews is nice.
And Lillard.
Lillard is going to give. See, and then we were talking about Houston, and I was talking about Houston. Of course, they have Dwight Howard. Who I know people kill him because of the whole Dwight Mare thing. And he hasn't really shown much improvement from his debut in the NBA, but he's still good. He's a top center in the NBA, no matter how you slice it. And their power forward position is weak to me. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Of course, the three Chandler Parsons, I like Chandler Parsons. And James Harden is nice.
He's alright.
Yeah, he's alright. He's a pretty good role player.
Yeah.
I still think James Harden has work to do on the defensive end. Of course, his niche is offensive. He scores, he distributes. He's improved his shooting from his OKC days. I would say that. Houston is a dunker 3 team. They don't really shoot a lot from 10 to 18 feet. I mean, they're either dunking or they're shooting threes. Which is a lot to do with, of course, Dwight Howard doesn't do anything but dunk. And then James Harden, he drives the lane and he either lays it up or he kicks it out.
Or he gets fouled.
Or he gets fouled. But, that's pretty much it. So the free throw line, too. They get, of course, Dwight Howard's getting fouled. So, I mean, they score all their points.
He doesn't really make his foul shots. He's hard.
I mean, they average, over 100 points a game. They probably get maybe 10 of them from 10 to 18 feet without looking. And I just feel like they never take those shots. So, and their bench, I mean, Amir Sheik, is nice. Their center position is probably the best in the NBA, Dwight Howard and Amir Sheik. Their point guard position, like we talked about in the last show, it's like Patrick Beverley is nice on the defensive end, but on offense, it's like, And then you got Jeremy Lin, who's pretty good on the offensive end, but on defense, it's like, of course, and you got Damian Lillard, of course, he can defer when it's Patrick Beverley, and then because he take breaks on defensive ends, he doesn't go up to Harden.
No.
And then when Jeremy Lin's on, he can do whatever he wants offensively, and then he just has to worry about guarding him.
Yeah, just gotta tell Damian Lillard, when you're calling timeout over half court, watch your knees. That's all you gotta do whenever he's out there. Just gotta watch it. Just watch it.
Westbrook would probably send that guy.
Somebody needs to clothesline that guy. But anyway.
But yeah, I just feel like Damian Lillard's going to be a nightmare for them. And then, of course, LA at the fourth position, who's guarding him?
I know. I thought about that too. So who's guarding him? And, if Jeremy Lin tries to guard Damian Lillard, he can score 100 points.
Jeremy Lin's taping his ankles.
Yeah,
I think the Blazers are going to upset them.
Even
though it should be the Rockets, I feel like the Blazers are going to steal it. I'm going to go 7 though.
Yeah. I agree. I like Blazers in 7 too. My deciding factor is I kind of like the bench breakdown. Isn't Mo Williams in Portland?
Yeah, and he's like the only one that really like. There's some other guys that had good games.
I had the names in my head. I can't remember who. We're over here.
Well, that's Houston. Portland. Will Barton's had decent games. Myers Leonard has shown his face. Yeah. But it's like Mo Williams is the only reliable bench player they have. At least Houston has 2 decent ones. But then they have the weak 4 position.
Yeah. So
I think we're looking at 2 flawed teams that are only going to come out of the first round whoever wins, because they're going to face San Antonio. And let's just pretend that the Dallas Mavericks somehow beat San Antonio in some miracle, and they prove everybody wrong. I don't think these teams are better than Dallas. I think they're like, no, I'm not saying they're worse than Dallas, but I think it's more of a toss-up though.
Yeah.
So of course we won't believe the Spurs are going to win, and then I think the Spurs would handle the Blazers and the Rockets.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Blazers in 7.
Yeah, see, I think it's going to go 7 games as well, but I'm going to go Houston just because I think James Harden is that good.
See, I was thinking that too. I was thinking Houston until it's like I keep flip-flopping, I'm not going to lie.
I did too, but I'm going with the beard. I'm a little mad at him. Did you see the funny interview? He wouldn't shave his beard for $5 million.
I'll shave mine for $5 million.
Well, first they asked him $1 million. He said absolutely not. Then they said, well, that's what they were talking about. Then they said 5, and he was like, no. And he said, well, for 10, I would think about it. I'm like, must be nice to be a max guy in the NBA.
Yeah, for $1 million, I would do it. But I'll take the 5. I'll shave my beard out today.
Oh man, he's a goofball. That guy, he's a goofball. I knew James.
I love my beard. It's growing on me.
Oh no. I knew James Harden was going to be special. I don't know if you can find it online, but you got to find his draft interview from when he got drafted. Oh, it's great.
I'll have to look that up.
I knew he was going to be something. So yeah.
So that's pretty much it for playoff talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only one other real thing that's happened recently in the NBA, besides, of course, the playoffs being locked. I can only think of one other bit of news, and of course, it's Lamar Odom being signed to the Knicks. It was called throughout the rest of the season, and then a team option for next year. There was only 1 game left at the time, and of course, he didn't play. So, I wonder, did he get paid for that?
Yeah, that's the contract. Like a prorated. Game 1
game. Prorated, so it means probably
like 1 game. Game whatever the game. Game check.
$10,000 maybe. I don't know. Whatever game check is for somebody who's paid like a bum.
Good for him.
So you got $10,000. It was basically a signing bonus because he didn't play. But they only have the team option for next year anyway, so he's not definitely playing next year. You know.
Well, basically, you mean that's not going to be the deciding factor if Melo goes to season?
It might be. But if it is, it's probably not for a good reason.
Oh, that's messed up. Well, J.R. Smith's happy. He has someone else to party with and do all that stuff with, so
they're going to ride around in the truck.
Chloe's driving while they're doing their thing in the back. I can't believe I just said that.
You can be a bad influence on JR.
Is that possible?
Yeah. JR only smokes weed. Lamar smokes crack. That's way worse.
Oh, man. Wow.
But yeah. Actually,
that's great.
Here's a good question for you. On a somewhat related note. The Knicks are out. We can already discuss.
We know this.
July's coming. Where does Melo go? Does he stay?
You know, if you would ask me this, like, I honestly, oh man, this is tough. I mean, I think he's going to stay just because of the money, but
He's never left a penny on the table before.
it would not surprise me if he left. I would like if we will.
Please, where would he go?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of crazy.
If you want my own opinion,
do you really want to do the crazy scenario thing right now? We're kind of on a.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can talk about all the scenarios now.
The crazy scenarios.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the article I showed you about the Big Four?
Yeah.
Which
That would be amazing.
That would be hilarious because.
They would be ridiculous.
Can you imagine the plea, the crying, and all the whining that everybody would do if that happened?
Well, they would all have to take a huge pay cut.
Yeah, well,
I'm saying bigger than the last one.
yeah. Which is
Melo would have to take his first pay cut ever. Melo's never taken a pay cut.
He's been doing okay over the years, you know. I mean,
I'm sure his bank account is lying. He's taking every penny he can from the NBA.
yeah, so there you go. There's that scenario, and then there's.
I mean, that one would be amazing.
I think someone on the radio said, Houston. Like,
see, but the thing is with Houston, they would have to trade for him. He would be that would be an awesome fit. Like if you look at what Houston is now, and you add Melo to it, you know what I'm saying? Because if you had Melo playing the four position next to Dwight, kind of the stretch forward, which Dwight needs, he's perfect complement to Dwight. And Dwight would be the perfect complement for him on the defensive end, so you clean up the messes. Then you had Chandler Parsons, James Harden, and then their two at a point guard monster, which hopefully they would upgrade.
What do you want to play with Jeremy Lin again?
I mean, I don't.
I'm just when they talk about it, that's actually
Jeremy Lin might be part of the trade.
That's also true.
Because they would have to trade for him.
Can you imagine that?
And you would have to put a sheet in the deal, probably.
Can you imagine that?
Just so if you're Houston, you don't want to give up Parsons or Harden.
No.
And it's like, if you're the Knicks, I mean, are you willing to take off that doesn't include Parsons? I mean, Harden's not going to do the deal.
No.
But if you're the Knicks, don't you want Parsons in it? No. And if you're Houston, do you really want to part with that?
Well, if you're Houston, you say, these are the guys that are untouchable. And he's obviously on that list. Obviously, the other scenario, I still have to talk about Chicago.
Well, Chicago's a likelihood, and it's actually a great basketball decision. I mean, if you think about it, they would have to amnesty Boozer. That's the way they get the money. Then if they really want to pay him, they would have to do a sign and trade. A lot of people think Taj Gibson would be a part of the deal.
Ooh.
But if you think about it, he's played his best basketball at 4. Taj Gibson's a 4. So if you're the Bulls, I mean, you have to at least consider it. And then hopefully, I mean, you got, hopefully maybe bring Heinrich back. Hopefully D-Rose stays healthy this year. They bring back, Mike Dunleavy, for some shooting. They're saying they're going to bring over that kid from Europe that's supposed to be because they have the rights to it. I forget the name. If you're the Bulls, I mean,
No, it's definitely something to think about.
Yoki Noah, like Dwight, would clean up all his defensive inefficiencies.
Oh, I guess time will tell. I don't know. That's all I really have for Melo talk right now. Really.
But I agree with you. I think he's going to stay for the money. I think the money factor is going to be it. I think he's going to, unless and I mean, Lala is lit. They're from New York. I think they just want to stay in New York. And I think he'll probably have confidence in the future with Phil there enough so that he's like, you know what? Let me stay home. Let me take all the money. Give me my $129 million, and just move on. So.
And then cry 2 years into the deal when the team is trash.
Yeah.
Because that's what all these guys do. I mean,
Well, hopefully James Dolan stays out so Phil Jackson can actually give him a squad. I know.
Oh, wow.
If you notice, I said I hope, and I said it somberly.
He went there.
Speaking of bad owners, since we've done this every show, shout out to Dan Gilbert.
How's that going?
Still yet to raise a banner.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, man.
Hey, he's won the draft lottery twice, though.
Yeah.
He's doing something right.
Yeah, sucking. Oh, man. Well, I will say, they did one smart move. They traded with the Clippers, who were stupid enough to give them a pick.
And I guess so that means the Pelicans should be thinking him too, because they turned around and did it the next year.
Yeah. Fucking Clippers. That's Donald Sterling for you. Another great owner. Sarcasm, of course. So, that's all for this show, I think. Of course, not to change the subject, but I'm going to change the subject. So, of course, we talked about the first round here. Could be interesting. We'll see the Spurs face, the Blazers or Rockets. We're both thinking it's going to be, Thunder Clippers. That'd be a fun matchup to watch. So I guess we'll see how it rounds out, and we'll be back after the first round, and in between the first and second round, to make our second round predictions, and of course recap the first round. So thank you all for tuning in, and have a good time until next time, and enjoy the NBA playoffs. Signing out, White Snoop T-Rose, White Snoop and T-Rose Show. See you later.
The White Snoop and T-Rose Show.
Watch more videos like old episodes on YouTube and subscribe to youtube.com/WhiteSnoop44. Follow and tweet us at 44entertainment, at WhiteSnoop44, at T-Rose_28. Use the hashtag Snoop Show. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WhiteSnoop244, facebook.com/TheWhiteSnoop44. Email us at WhiteSnoopProductions@gmail.com.